TunePocket.com. TunePocket.com.
Welcome to another episode of the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Let's not waste no time. Let's get right to it. So, I follow this guy. The guy's name is, he goes by the name at Mike J Mele. MikeJMele. Mike J Mele. Okay. I follow this guy. And he works in mental health science, okay? And I read some of his stuff as far as it comes as it relates to suicide and whatnot. And let me tell you something. The stuff that he says is really hits in a way for me. It really hits me in the chest in a way that I've never felt before, because this guy is saying things that that I think about in a much emotional, heavier way, if that makes sense. Okay. So I was reading some of his stuff, okay? And he posted, "Until you've written a suicide note with despair in your heart, tears in your eyes, and pain in your soul so horrendous that it makes you believe death is the only solution for peace. Don't tell me it's cowardly, selfish, or an attempt for attention." Yeah. I've actually written one of those suicide notes before. And my suicide note said, real simple. It said, "You wanted me out of the house. I'm out of the house." That was my suicide note. And you may ask, what does that pertain to? Well, what it pertains to is this. The humiliation of me living with my parents is very humiliating. And it was humiliating back then. And it was so humiliating that I wanted to just end my life in the worst way possible. Because I wanted to get the fuck up out this house. I never have considered myself a man. And so, when I felt like I don't consider myself a man, I just want to end it all and not be here anymore. And it all goes back to what Mike J Mele talked about. With despair in your heart, tears in your eyes, and pain in your soul that makes you believe death is the only solution for peace. Okay. So there was a time where I chose suicide or humiliation. because I couldn't stand to be a humiliating son. I could not stand to be an embarrassment. So for the longest time, I chose suicide over humiliation and embarrassment. As someone who still deals with suicidal ideation from time to time, and as someone who has attempted, yeah, we have those type of days, we have those type of healings. It's just pure hell. It is just pure 100% hell. He also says, when death becomes your friend and your life your enemy, you're in a struggle between good and evil that you don't deserve. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're told people who call 988, okay, there's a part of you that wants to die, but there's a part of you that also really wants to live. So you got 50% you want to live, 50% you want to die, okay? And oftentimes, people who dial the 988 suicide prevention lifeline, they have nobody else to talk to or to turn to. So that 50-50 may be 90% wanting to die. But there's this other 10% that says, I'm going to call this lifeline to see if they will listen to me, because nobody else will. And then, more often than, when they have somebody to talk to, when they have somebody to release the pain that they're feeling, the situations that led them to feel 90-10, then all of a sudden, that 90-10 may turn into 70. Well, no. Well, I'm just guessing. That 90-10 may turn to 50-50, okay? Because they still feel suicidal. They still feel suicidal. But since somebody actually took the time to listen to them, hear the things that they've been through, that 90% all of a sudden drops down to 50%. Okay. And they feel a little bit better about not going through with ending their life. Okay. And there's a reason why I post a 9888 number at the end of my videos. There's always hope, okay? There's always hope. So your life is worth a phone call, okay? There's always hope. Always. Okay. Okay. So, He also posted one time, a forced smile with a broken heart is one of the most painful things you'll ever experience. When you have to pretend to be well, when you're anything but, you become mentally exhausted. When you're living your life, but all you can think about is ending it, your soul will suffer. Okay. So, back in 2020, 82. Okay. Back in 2020, 82. There was this friend who I thought was my girlfriend, okay? But it was just friendship the entire time. Okay. But for like the past 10 years, it was just like friendship over that had 10-year span. And the mistake that I made was I liked her, she liked me. The thing about it is I caught feelings at a faster pace for her than maybe she did for me. Okay. So that was the mistake that I made. Okay. I caught feelings for her faster. Okay. Than she did for me. So in August of 2020, 82, I think I took some pressure. I think I took a lot of pressure off of her. Okay. When I asked her this question, I said, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" She's like, "Sure." She said, no. She said, I said, because I asked first, okay? So I asked her, I said, "Hey, the way you felt about me, the way you said you feel about me back in 2015, do you still feel that way to today?" And she said yes. Okay. And she said yes. And I remember we talked about it over dinner. We talked about it over dinner. Okay. And I think I took a lot of pressure off of her. Okay. When I asked that question, because she told me that she meant to tell me. Okay. She meant to tell me that. Because she had told me that previously and she was about to, tell me again. But because she knew I attempted suicide, she knew that I deal with heavy bouts of depression and suicidal ideation. Okay. I don't think she didn't want to be the one to break me. Okay. She didn't want to be the one to break me. She didn't want to see me harm myself or end my life. Okay. Which is something I appreciate because if that had probably been a few years, if that had been like way back, even before I met this young lady. I met her at age 12. But if that had been like way back before, like in 2008, 2009, I probably would have went into a deep depression, and probably would have had some heavy thoughts of suicidal ideation. But so I think I took pressure off of her when I asked her that question. But I don't think, for me, I don't think I was so much as depressed about her telling me. It was just, I know y'all saw all that, right? Yeah. But it wasn't so much me being depressed or having thoughts of, or having suicidal ideations about her wanting to tell me, hey, we're just friends, nothing more. I don't think it was that caused a little bit of depression. Okay. I think it was the fact that I genuinely thought that I was starting to run out of time. Okay. It was that I was depressed about, and I was having some suicidal ideations, because if we were boyfriend and girlfriend, I still would have been holding her. I still would have been holding her hand. I still would have been holding her in my arms. Okay. And so it wasn't it wasn't the fact that I thought that she was telling me we were just friends. It was so much the fact that I was saying to myself, I think that was my last shot, because I just feel like that I've ran out of time. Okay. And so you get hit depressed about that. You have some suicidal ideations. Again, not pertaining to her, just the fact that you think you are out of time and you feel out of place. Okay. And so one of the things that I really like that he says, my relationship with God makes for a great support system when I'm struggling mentally. I'm not telling you to do the same, only for you to find a dependable support system that works for you. Don't settle for people who don't want the best for you. You deserve better. Okay. So, yeah. So, I've really started reading the Bible more. I've really started praying to God about things when I'm struggling mentally. Okay. So it's nice to have Jesus and God on your side. Okay. That's it. Excellent. Okay. It's excellent that you have someone who says they will never leave you nor forsake you. Okay. That's excellent. Okay. But he also says, MJM also says in the post, don't settle for people who don't want the best for you. Okay. So, while it's good to have God and Jesus, okay, it's also good to have supportive people around you, human connection, who randomly text you and say, hey, how are you are doing? The ones who just ask you, is everything okay? And then they look at you and say, hey, is everything really okay? So just people who are there to support you, just there to help you through rough times. May it be depression, maybe it be anxiety, suicide, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so oh man, I really like this one from him. He also posted, sometimes we pray to avoid becoming prey. Prey. I love that one. I love that one. Let's see. Let me see. One more. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to read. Okay. Those who are suicidal due to depression believe they are unloved. The unspoken love you share has to be expressed and not taken for granted that it's understood. That may feel like a chore to you, but to them, it's a lifeline. Yeah. So, again, the importance of human connection, human touch, just having someone physically to hug changes you. It may change how he or she is feeling about themselves that day. You know, human connection is important. And sometimes, when they don't have that lifeline, when they don't have that human connection, because everybody's pushed him away, this is probably the best connection they can have. Because we're there to listen, be empathetic, not judge, just listen to you, release pain, and just be so supportive and help you through any way we can. Okay. So yeah. All right. That's it. That's all for the Sean Farrell podcast. I'm Sean Farrell. I'm out of here. Peace out. God bless you all. You are loved. You do matter. I'm gone, y'all.